Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So in the recent days you must have heard regarding the hybrid solar eclipse or a very rare type of solar eclipse that is going to happen in the next few days, that is on 20th April 2023. Then what is this hybrid solar eclipse? You must have heard regarding the three types of solar eclipse that are prominently visible, which are total, annular and partial. Then what is this hybrid solar eclipse? So in this video, I and my friend Mr. Jai Boy are going to discuss that what is solar eclipse, how does it occur, what are its types, what is this hybrid solar eclipse, how we can see it, where it will be visible, and what are the precautions that we need to take while we are observing or while we are watching any type of solar eclipse. So I request you to watch the whole video and don't skip any point so that all the doubts will get cleared up. So without wasting much time, let's begin our today's video.
So can you tell me about what is the scientific reason behind solar eclipse, how it occurs?
Okay. So the solar eclipse occurs when the new moon comes in between the sun and earth, blocking complete or the sum of the sunlight that is falling on the earth. So in this way what happens that the shadow of moon is casted upon earth and it falls on the some region of earth, and as a result the solar eclipse occurs. Now the sun is 400 times wider than our moon, but at the same time it is 400 times away, that is farther from the moon. So what happens that moon and sun appears to be of the same size in the sky, and as a result we can see the solar eclipse because of the same sizes. Okay, so this is how the solar eclipse occurs.
So if this scenario is true, then we should witness solar eclipse every month. So why does not it happen?
It does not happen because there is one main reason. The orbit of the moon is 5 degrees tilted with respect to the earth. For example, this is our earth and this is our moon. Then both the orbits of earth and moon are not in the same plane. The orbit of the moon is 5 degrees tilted north or south with respect to the earth. So the moon moves in this fashion. So what happens in solar eclipse? The shadow of moon falls on earth, but because of the tilt of this moon's orbit, the shadow misses every month.
Okay, so the plane of earth and the plane of moon are having 5 degree of angle between them.
Yes, and as a result the shadow of moon does not fall on earth every month, and hence we cannot see the solar eclipse every month.
So why most of the people saying about there is a type of a shadow, based on that we can identify it is it a solar eclipse, total solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse? So can you tell me about brief about this, what are the types? And
okay, so what happens in the solar eclipse, that the shadow of moon is casted upon the earth. So in that region what happens that three types of shadows are there. First is umbra, second is penumbra, and third is antenumbra.
Types of shadow are also there.
Yes, three types of shadows are there, and based upon these shadows, if we are in the particular shadow region, then we can see the total solar eclipse. For example, if we are in the umbra region, then we can see the total solar eclipse.
If I am in an umbra region, then
Yes.
I witness total solar eclipse. So what about penumbra?
So if you are in the penumbra region, then we can see the partial solar eclipse. That is, the moon will cover only some part of the sunlight, and we can see a minor cut like in the sun. Okay, so this is the partial solar eclipse.
And what about others?
That is the annular solar eclipse. If we are in the antenumbra region, then we can see the annular solar eclipse. In the annular solar eclipse, a ring of fire, that is, the moon will not completely cover the sun, and a ring of fire will be seen around the moon.
So in that scenario, the ratio of 400 by 400, it is a different.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So we can clearly see that as such the sun is 400 times wider and also the 400 times farther away from moon. But in terms of annular solar eclipse, we will see a ring of fire.
But you know what, most of the time I have seen that in Instagram post and social media, most of the people talking about hybrid solar eclipse. So what about that?
Hybrid solar eclipse is actually a transition of the solar eclipse from annular to total and then again back to annular. So what happens, because of the earth's curvature, when the solar eclipse or let's say when the moon starts to enter in between sun and earth, then in the beginning of the hybrid solar eclipse, annular solar eclipse will be visible. That is we can see the ring of fire. Okay. And after some time, that is let's say during the noon or in the afternoon, we can see the totality, that is the total solar eclipse. And after some time, let's say about 1 or 2 minutes, the totality will be visible, and after that the solar eclipse will come back to the
so which are the
original
country
position.
So which are the country who witnessing this hybrid solar eclipse?
So this hybrid solar eclipse will take place first of all on 20th of April 2023. It will be visible in the East Timor Islands, then East Indonesia, Papua Islands, and some parts of the Western Australia.
Maybe Australia also is there.
Yes, in some parts of the Western Australia, this hybrid solar eclipse is going to visible. And if we want to find out the correct timing and depending upon the location, because this is a game of location and the shadow. If we are in the particular shadow region, then we can definitely see the total solar eclipse as well as the annular solar eclipse. But sometimes what happens that we don't know that in which region which shadow is there. So for that we need to take help for some sites. For example, there is a site called timeanddate.com that will show that at which time the solar eclipse will begin, when it will reach its totality, and when it will end, depending upon our location. So we have provided the link for this site, that is timeanddate.com, in the description, from where you can set your location and you can find out that which time the solar eclipse will begin and when it will be end.
So in future India will be witnessing some solar eclipse. So what about taking precaution about that? So we should keep that in our mind.
Yes, because this event is very beautiful and it is a very rare type of event. In this century only, about 3% chances are there of the hybrid solar eclipse. Only 3%. Because this hybrid solar eclipse was seen before 10 years. 10 years ago. So you can imagine that how rare this is event, and many of the amateur astronomers and astrophotographers are planning to visit such places to observe both the cases.
So I never saw this kind of solar eclipse.
Yes, it is a very amazing view, and if we get a chance, then we can see this hybrid solar eclipse.
And what about next solar eclipse in India? Can you tell me about it?
Let's say I'm not sure, but in the next 3 to 4 years there is not a solar eclipse, but hopefully we can see lunar eclipses.
Yeah, also. Last year maybe we have witnessed amazing partial solar eclipse.
Yes, partial solar eclipse
in October maybe.
Yes, in the month of October. So you were saying some precautions?
Yeah, actually I have read in one book precautions are mandatory whenever we witness this kind of solar eclipse. So what are the precautions?
Okay, so whenever a solar eclipse occurs, for example, if there is no solar eclipse, let's say, then the sunlight that is coming on Earth, then it is not that much harmful. But during a solar eclipse, what happens? The sunlight gets intense because of the reflection.
So it covers the whole sun due to that the intense, due to that portion, like outer area of that moon are having intense ultraviolet light or light. So when that light comes on Earth, then it is very harmful. So it's too harmful for us.
It may cause temporary or permanent damage to our eyes. So we should not see any type of solar eclipse naked eye. We have to use, for example, if we have to see the solar eclipse, then we can use the special eclipse glasses. What happens that in this eclipse glasses, special doping material is used.
It's maybe silver doping material.
Yes. So what happens, for example, these are the eclipse glasses, then 2 circles will be there, and in that we have the doping material. So when we will see directly at the sun, then the sunlight will not cause the damage to our eyes, and we can see the solar eclipse. So this is the first precaution.
So most of the time I have seen that most of the astrophile people who having telescope, they viewing that solar eclipse by the telescope. So telescope having a point area in which the whole sunlight get focused, so it may be harmful for them.
No. What happens that in specialized telescopes and DSLRs or even binoculars, the persons like astronomers or amateur astrophotographers, they buy special solar filters. So solar filters are very much essential, and they are very helpful in viewing the solar eclipse, and they will block up the harmful radiation. For example, you can see here we have a telescope. So the solar filter will get attached to this telescope, or we have, for example, if you have binoculars, then specialized solar filters for binoculars are also there.
So we can is there any option for DSLR camera?
Yes, for DSLR cameras also, if we want to do the photography for this, then we can use the solar filters.
So now I have answered that most of the photographer why kept the beautiful solar eclipse.
So this is how they use the solar filters, and they see it and they photograph it.
And what are the other precautions which we have to keep?
So for example, if we do not have any eclipse glasses, see, one more thing, that your normal sunglasses are not that much protective. Also some people use the X-ray films, that is not essential, because it will also not completely block the sunlight. So you must not use any type of adjustment made by at home, because it will cause permanent or temporary damage
So
to your eyes.
if I have to witness that event via directly, then I have to require some solar glasses.
Yes.
Yeah, then solar doping material.
Yes.
Okay.
So we cannot see it naked eye. For example, if you do not have any eclipse glasses, then you can make a pinhole projector. Do
What
you
is-
know about this?
No, I don't know about the pinhole. Is there any kind of pinhole like that?
Yes, the name suggests this. For example, you have a cardboard box,
Okay.
then you can make a pinhole. A small example, if you have a pen, then you can just make a hole of this size of the pen's point, and then you have to just point it towards the sun, and then the shadow will be seen in the floor part. Okay, and then you can see that the moon is entering and it will exit.
Okay. And what about if I reflecting that with the using of like circle mirror on the
Okay.
wall? Then is it visible?
It is called a bead type arrangement. What
Okay.
happens that you must have seen in some dress materials or any embroidery store that small circular mirrors are available
Yeah, I
that
have
are used
seen.
in the women's dress material. Okay, so for example, if you have a small ball, then you have to attach that small circular mirror on the
Okay,
ball,
okay.
and then you have to focus. For example, this is sun, then you have to focus such that the sunlight will fall on this mirror and it get projected onto a wall or on a plane surface, and then we can see that part that yes,
Okay.
this is the
Yeah,
shadow.
and by that we can get a magnifying image of
Yes,
solar eclipse.
a
Yeah.
large image will be seen. And believe me that in the olden times, most of the amateur astronomers and astrophotographers have used this type of arrangement,
Okay.
because at that time not much advancement was there in the DSLR
Okay.
and solar filters.
And if and which are the place where you get this kind of information? Is there any website or any kind of things are there?
Yes, some websites are also there. For example, if you want to see some scientific websites are there, I will mention it in the description below.
Okay.
So that you can buy these solar filters and eclipse glasses.
Okay. And by that website, can I get the information about the date and time of solar
Yes.
eclipse?
So there is one site called timeanddate.com. It gives you complete information that in which region this solar eclipse will be visible, and when will be totality, when will be annular part, and you can use this site depending upon your location, and it will tell you the exact time during which the solar eclipse will occur.
And at the simultaneous time, most of the YouTubers are going for a
Yes.
live, and based on that, we can
Yes.
get proper witnessing that scenario by our YouTube channel or most
Yes,
of the
some of the
channel,
YouTube
electronic
channels
media.
are going live for the solar eclipse. You must
Okay.
follow them, or you must keep an account of those channels. And also this timeanddate.com site will also hold a live telecast of this solar eclipse, so you can use this.
Okay, first of all, thank you, Milan, because I have
welcome.
too much brainstorming in my brain how to witness that kind of solar eclipse. Is it visible in India
Yes.
or not? And when we get details regarding that proper solar eclipse information. So thank you about that.
You're welcome. So I hope that you must have got every information regarding this hybrid solar eclipse. What are the types of normal solar eclipses and when it will be visible? What precautions we need to take? And I hope that you have enjoyed this video. So for more such exciting videos on astronomy, astronomical events, and tutorials on astrophotography, please like and share this video and subscribe to my channel for more such updates. Thank you for
Thank you.
watching this
Thank you.
video.